The life of a pickpocket.
Charity's fine, subscribe to mine.
Whether you're a ragamuffin street urchin with an adorable cheek, or a ball-capped dipper on the subway. There you are, living by your wits and light fingers. Your delicate non-touch.
No touching.
And sleight of hand on a breast pocket, or the stitching on an ass cheek of jeans of some faceless folk on the subway, just going about their business, blissfully unaware of your intent. So romantic. You're a criminal. That faceless ass cheek. Wait, that sounded weird. Those people are victims. Pickpockets. Ugh. Cheap, cheap, cheap. We'll get to that.
For clarification.
Not actual. Cheap, cheap, cheap.
That would be bad.
I mean pickpockets. Now, why am I banging on about pickpockets? Because this week's piece of writing that I roted and writ in my writing with my writing hand was called Confessions of a Life Pickpocket. But before we get to that, back to the cheap.
Stop for clarification.
Metaphorical. Let's talk street filchers, fingersmiths. Pickpocket! Attenzione, pickpocket!
Attenzione, pickpocket!
Honourable? No. Profitable? Fun? Well, it certainly looks fun in the movies. And boy, howdy, the movies make it look like it's happening everywhere, all the time.
Everywhere!
People running rampant. But we'll get to that. Who is the most famous pickpocket? Did you say the Artful Dodger?
What you staring at?
Maybe you said Fagin.
Shut up and drink your gin!
Those were the only two pickpockets I could think of when I was trying to think of pickpockets. This is Apollo Robbins. Never heard of him.
In 3 minutes, I'm going to be wearing your watch.
He is currently regarded as the most famous pickpocket.
Don't you know who I am?
He is known as the gentleman pickpocket. I don't know why I'm...
Haven't you never seen a top?
Apollo Robbins, never heard of him.
You don't know who I am?
Is quite famous for picking the pockets of a member of the Secret Service while entertaining the president.
As a matter of clarification.
He was entertaining the president. The Secret Service member wasn't. Which president? This one. R.I.P. In 2001, while Jimmy Carter was at dinner, Apollo Robbins, and I quote, struck up a conversation with several of his Secret Service men. Within a few minutes, he had emptied the agents' pockets of pretty much everything but their guns. Robbins brandished a copy of Carter's itinerary, and when an agent snatched it back, he said, "You don't have the authorization to see that." When the agent felt for his badge, Robbins produced it and handed it back to him. Then he turned to the head of the detail and handed him his watch, his badge, and the keys to the Carter motorcade. Ooh, sticky fingers! He's more of your entertainment-minded pickpocket, less in it for the keeping of the things. He takes them, so clever, then he gives them back in often inventive and hilarious ways. You want to know what Penn Jillette thinks about pickpockets? Penn Jillette ranks pickpockets as, quote, a few notches below hypnotists on the showbiz totem pole. Ooh, burn! Let's talk some pickpocketing terms.
Teach me.
Because in the thing that I wrote that we're not at yet, I sprinkled them throughout the piece and eagle-eyed readers will have picked up what I'm putting down, if you know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean.
So here's some terms for context. Everyone knows what the mark is. That's the victim, also known as the chump or just Vic. But did you know that pickpockets often work in teams?
My bad.
It's a team sport called whiz mobs or wire mobs. There's some subcategories of marks as well. For example, the Mr. Bates, which just means the mark is a businessman.
I'm an important businessman.
Or a pappy. That's pappy, not puppy. Pappy! As in a senior citizen. There's a thing called shade.
You want shades? I'll show you. Shade.
Which is something you hold and use to cover the act of the pickpocketing. taking people's attention away from the crime at hand, the filching that's going on, making you look one way while they're doing something over here, diverting your eye line, keeping your attention up here so that you don't know what's going on
Down below, Sir Philip.
down here. What else is there? The steer.
Ponytails your mark, right bridge, right rear pocket.
In a pickpocketing team, the steer is the person who picks the victim, presumably to steer the pickpockets toward the chump, the mark, the vic. The term fanning means to bump up against someone as a way of figuring out if they've got anything in their pockets. A dip is a pickpocket, also known as the tool, the wire, or the mechanic. So many fun terms in pickpocketing. Just one more thing before we get to the post. Some pickpocketing numbers. Oh, statistics. Aren't you excited?
Nope.
I hate numbers. Why am I reading numbers? I'm going to read some numbers.
No.
The esteemed alien hunting agency, the FBI, perhaps you've heard of them, they gather crime data from all the crime-fighting Justice League heroes
Gathered together from the cosmic reaches of the universe.
and compile them in one place called the National Incident-Based Reporting System, or NIBRS. NIBRS. They've got a nice little online explore the stats kind of thing that you can go look at.
No, I don't think so.
Note, not all crimes are reported. I think we know that's a fact of life. For some reason, they only have up to 2022 in the online explorer. So we're just going to talk about 2022 stats. Just a couple high-level stats. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's fine, it's nearly over. The numbers are nearly over. Pickpocketing, by the way, is classified as a larceny theft. So it falls in the same category as, purse snatching and bike theft, weirdly.
That's my bike!
A lot of bike theft. Hate bike thieves.
Hey, bike!
Also, shoplifting. More 5-finger discounts. In 2022, there were 21,085 pocket-picking incidents reported. Okay, enough of that boring stuff. Numbers.
Nope.
Ugh. Confessions of a Life Pickpocket. The premise of the whole piece is that we, as artists, and I, as a writer,
Words.
we are constantly pickpocketing our own lives for material to use in our art. In my case, writing. The job of an artist is to steal, and a lot of the times it is from our own experience that we pilfer and pillage and rob.
You're the pickpocket.
So in the thing I wrote, which you should go read, I was essentially asking for forgiveness from 3 of the most commonly pickpocketed things in my life. Memory, time, and emotion. Memory, forgive me. A good pickpocket will choose a very crowded location, like
Small and jam-packed.
in your brain. It's full of memories. And they will pop in there and brush up against everything and ooh, whoops, pardon me. Oh! And then walk away with treasures from the archive.
I'd check my pockets if I was you.
Now, of course, memories are typically used as things that we can recall so that we can, think fondly of a past event or a person or whatever.
I remember you.
But in this case, we are often altering the memory for our own nefarious purposes. You steal these memories and then you resell them on the open market. In other words, I'm a pickpocket. And nothing is safe from the rewrite.
You're in danger.
When you're reselling them, retelling them, sometimes they're told exactly as you remember them and you harvest them in a memoir kind of style. Other times you completely alter them to create something new. I mean, they don't just say,
Names have been changed to protect the innocent.
for nothing. Speaking of nothing, I alluded to this before, but nothing is safe from a pickpocket of memories. Family, friends, even randos on the street. I will get in there and I will just steal whatever I want. No pocket is safe. I am greedy, which is why I need to ask for forgiveness for the pickpocketing of the memories thing.
Forgive me.
Now, the second thing, time.
I do believe she lifted your timepiece.
I talk a lot about time and about how I mismanage it. And in pickpocketing terms, I steal a lot of time, often, from my own timeline. I pick the pocket of time relentlessly. And my marks are often things like, life errands that you really should do, you need to stay on top of, but I don't see them as being a priority. So, cleaning the house being a prime example. I'm so glad now that I have that Roomba. This is everything I ever dreamed it would be. Hello. But that's what it means to pickpocket time. You can also get time back from, meetings that end early or not attending barbecues you were invited to, perhaps. Not that I do that. Not that anybody invites me to anything. People do. And then I will reallocate that time to working on something that I want to work on. I will pick the pockets of time from all zones, just so that I can have more of it to work on my silly little pieces of writing, which are not silly, they're very important to me. Forgive me, time. And the third category was emotion. To me, this is about stealing the feelings so that you know how to accurately express them, portray them, whatever. Now, they can be your own experience of that emotion, or I also think you can pick the pockets of the films and books that you consume, and you can apply that to your life, to your art, to whatever. When you're writing about, for example, let's say heartbreak, if you've had heartbreak, you will pick the pockets not just of that memory of the heartbreak, but of the emotion of it, which is very much tied to the memory. Love, joy, hatred, anger, all of those things. Pick, 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 pick.
Pickpocketing.
You 100% need to pick the pockets of emotion. And then you need to figure out how you're going to use that in your work so that you can better emote through that work. She said confidently, having picked the pocket of confidence to appear to be confident.
Totally.
It's theft. Some people might call it harvest or mining the emotions. Whatever you call it, it's about taking those little things that can become the building blocks of something that you're making. You turn that thing that you've stolen from yourself, you turn it into something else. You turn it into art.
Forgive me.
Pickpocketing is all about misdirection and deception. Here's 2 excerpts from the thing that I wrote that I'm sure you've no doubt read by now, because you're intrigued.
Aren't you curious about that?
My intent to steal is hidden because my intent is not just to steal, but to mine the emotional fields of your heart and use them in my art, what she said. My emotion coat is both buttoned and unbuttoned. It lifts and airs and fans, and there you are at the hem and the pocket, and I tap it and out it comes. Here is your art, the art I made from you. Second excerpt. Memory, time, emotion, circumstance. All art is theft. We are forever reaching into our own pockets, slipping burdens from our psyches and turning the intangible into the physical. Forever feeling the wrists of experience and landscape to file it away in the paints and notes and words of our output.
I rest my case.
I don't care what you're making, it's all hard. When they say all art is theft, they're usually talking about you using the work of others as an influence, or like mimicking the work of others. There are no original thoughts. But sometimes the all art is theft. We're stealing from ourselves, from our own lives, from our own memories and experience and circumstance. I say, if your fingers are light and the pocket's easy to get into, loot.
You gotta pick a pocket or 2.
Use that loot as a starting point. Allow the treasure to lead the way. Make something from that. Keep on picking. Pickpockets. Put the art back into Artful Dodger. See what I did there? Oh, forget it. See you next week.
Pick a pocket or 2.